You seem fascinated with Sir Pouncelot.
We don't have cats in Orzammar. Well, maybe some nobles have them if they buy them from a surface merchant.
Everyone needs a pet.
Well, I had a nug once, for about an hour, before my uncle slaughtered him and ate him.
No Anthony! Bastard thing. Can I get you a ladder?
Fate Walker. No shoes for maid. Yep. Better in every way than what last one. See if we can help her out. Why is making that noise?
Can I get you a ladder?
Yeah, take it easy.
Get off
Take
my
it easy.
back.
It's okay. You can stop hitting. Dragon. Hi, dragon. Probably. I think it's hostile towards everything. Yeah, get the Fuck you out of my way. Yeah, the mandatory dragons just aren't that tough. It's like the game designers are deadly afraid that someone might not be able to kill it and get stuck here. It's hard to say how realistic that a potential chance to dodge attack that fear is, because not all people who play games are gamers. So it might be warranted. But I'm usually hoping that such things would be handled by difficulty sliders instead of but the problem really is that the difficulty sliders are what they are. They're not just difficulty sliders, they're how tedious the game is to sliders. And I don't mean just the amount of dying, it means how long does it take to fight a similar target. It usually scales very badly when you start to go up. With down, I don't care, I don't think it matters. If you are bad at games, you usually want it to be properly easy. So I guess there's less of a chance of screwing things up when moving in that direction. It's more of a difficult, how are you going to make a game tough? That's the difficult part, without making it tedious or really aggravating at the same time. That didn't take long. I was expecting a little bit more from this, but you found a mysterious crystal in the winter ruins of Drake's Fall. May have some use. Suck it, suck it, suck it, suck it, flesh pod.
Yes?
I guess we need them to power up things. Heretic Disciple. Out of my way. Again, one of these bastards. Could you get behind it?
is your command? Let's see some blood. You're gonna regret that. Look at me.
Okay, I guess we'll have to loot things here. We can't really miss out on the crystals. Flesh pot, yeah, more crystals. Looks like we need additional.
Got it.
Crystals.
That was better than later.
Well, they're still dumping money on us, so maybe there's at least a merchant. Maybe they just didn't bother. Stop giving money.
And so we meet again. No, Uther. That is not how this must begin. I owe you an apology, Commander. When last we met, I intended to explain myself. Fate, however, intervened.
So explain yourself now.
I restrained you, only to prevent the misunderstanding that occurred with the rest of your order.
Misunderstanding? Is that what you call it?
I sent the Withered to ask for the Grey Warden's help. I should have anticipated that you might view our approach as an attack. I am rarely able to judge how your kind will react. It was most unfortunate.
You took those men and let them try.
The Grey Wardens that were brought to me were already dead. I took their blood just as I took yours, because I had little choice. Things have not gone as I planned. I only ask that you hear me out. Should you still wish to slay me afterwards, you may try.
Here we go.
My kind has ever been driven to seek out the old gods. This is our nature. When we find one, a blight is begun. Each time we attack your surface lands and you fight back until we are defeated. To break the cycle, my brethren must be freed of their compulsion. For that, I need Grey Warden blood.
Why do you need Warden's blood?
In order to become what you are, you drink the blood of my kind. To transform. Similarly, we must transform. I have created a version of your joining that uses the blood of Grey Wardens. You take the taint into yourself. What we take is your resistance. That is how my brethren are freed. In your blood lies the key to their immunity against the call of the old gods.
I like my blood where it is, in my veins.
Okay. Can I? At least I can still choose choices. So some new darkspawn seem intelligent, others are insane.
Once they are freed, the Darkspawn think for themselves. They speak, they act. Some, however, have reacted poorly. They are flawed and they rage against me. The Mother gathers them to stop me, as she seeks to stop you. I cannot defeat the Mother alone, and I cannot free the Darkspawn unless she is defeated. Our goals are the same.
This reeks of stupid. The last thing we need is more Darkspawn thinking for themselves.
Darkspawn or no, he has a good point. Do we really want to keep killing each other forever?
Help me kill the Mother, and after it is done, I will leave to continue my work.
How did you become freed?
I was born as I am, an outsider amongst my kind. Why? I do not know. Why do some of your kind become Grey Wardens? Why do some possess magic? I have no answers.
I'm not sure what's the best answer here. That I understand. The problem here is that most of the entire problem situation here is caused by these new Darkspawn. We've become increasingly we've defeated the Blight. There's only a limited number of all the gods. I think there's less than 10, and we've defeated 4 at least for now. 2. We've done it so many times we've become exceedingly efficient at it. The newest Blight in Ferelden didn't even involve other countries at all. There were only a couple of Grey Ones there, and the Blight was managed to be stopped, and the old god, the Archdemon, destroyed. It wasn't a huge thing. The thing is, all our basically defeats here have been as a cause of the intelligent Darkspawn, which should not happen outside of the lights. So basically, in some ways, there's potential that they might become a sort of a race among others, with normal relationships towards others, wars, peace, whatever, but they might also make things a lot worse in the long run, because they would become a proper threat regardless of the archdemons. There's nothing to indicate that they aren't. On the other hand, there is at least a chance that he isn't actually responsible for any of this. The Mother attack Amaranth Theme. He certainly sent his troops to the Vigil Keep, but I don't really believe him fully, because if he would have won, if the Grey Wardens there would have reacted by attacking him, which is totally possible, it's not like he withdrew or tried another thing. He killed everything. All the people he sent there killed everything regardless. They might have been intelligent, but they still murdered everything. And how are you supposed to keep on replenishing your race? There's, as far as we know, there's only one way, and that's capturing females of other races and making brood mothers out of them. So in a lot of ways we would be just changing a mindless swarm that is very powerful, but that we have sort of learned to counter to an extent, at least, to a force that we probably might not be able to counter anymore. So I don't know. Let's ask about the mother. What is it?
My most flawed creation. Freedom drove her mad, and she has poisoned the minds of the others. She has influence with the ones who have not been freed, and she gathers them as an army. I do not seek to rule, my brethren. I only seek to release them from their chains.
But you created this problem, and there's nothing to say that you're just not going to create more mothers as you keep doing things. Are you sure the Darkspawn want to be free? Some of them do, but it clearly seems that not everyone wants to be separated from the song.
And how would they know when the choice has been deprived of them? Without choice, there is only one path before them, and that leads to the Blight. I believe there is another way.
I do have to give him credit for that he didn't just leave things as they were, but I mean, he's going after Mother. He's acknowledging that it's a problem. The problem is he doing that because Mother, he's seeing as that the Mother cannot be allowed to continue what she's doing, or is he attacking her because she is trying to destroy him? So yeah, this is the moment of choice. Are we going to ally with him, or are we going to try to kill both of them? And yeah. It would be an attempt to break the cycle of the lights. Yeah, I don't. Which I guess this is a good thing, since you are put in a position you don't honestly know which is the better option. I don't think I can side with them, so I don't deny that what he is doing might end up being a positive thing in the end. The thing is, the reason why I'm really sort of hesitant on this is that the Darkspawn, if they were only a problem or a power to be concerned about during blights, I wouldn't hesitate for a moment. I would kill both of them. The problem is that they're underground. They're digging for the darkspawn, multiplying, killing off the dwarves. So in a way, even if we manage to defeat the blights, the remaining blights, the darkspawn would still remain. And this time there's no digging for new gods anymore, I guess. So instead of being content to stay underground, they might start to swarm the surface areas outside that. So the danger they are they really that dangerous? Shit. There's 2 dwarven cities remaining. They've managed to survive, but their numbers are dwindling constantly. So I don't know if that's because the darkspawn are that such a massive threat, or because the dwarven society is what it is. Shuns outsiders, kicks outsiders. The caste system kicks people who even leave the caves out of the caste system. So I'm feeling the problem with the dwarves is not really something that's a thing of necessity. It's because of the dwarven tradition and how they are. That's their problem. That's why they're dwindling and constantly, slowly but surely losing the final cities they have at the darkspawn. So I don't think so. So yeah, I will not help you.
But we could have stopped this cycle of blights and old gods.
How very unfortunate. But I cannot blame you. You are as bound to your nature as we are to ours. I am sorry, Uther. It appears that I will not be able to keep my promise after all. You will have to forgive me, Commander, for fighting to preserve my destiny.
I don't think Nathaniel... Well, Nathaniel has been a retard from the start, so his disapproval means nothing in this situation. I don't think he has the capability of being in any kind of leadership position, because he can't think outside immediate concerns. Just because he said that there might be a chance to break the cycle of blight doesn't mean that's even possible. That's what he really is going after, or that it's even desirable at this point. World has survived the cycles of blight just fine, and I guess it's something like in the Matrix. The machines destroying the human city. They've done it so many times that they never had it. The humans never had a chance. We become exceedingly efficient at it. So blight is certainly a threat, and it would be great to cut the cycle of blight. But I'm not sure this will improve the situation overall. There's still going to be a darkspawn army, nation, race, and that is going to be sort of a parasitic relationship against other living races because of what they are. It's not going to... There's not going to be an everlasting peace between us. He doesn't have magic. That is odd. Try to interrupt. What is it casting? Don't know. Probably nothing good for us. Just taking a guess.
You'll
Cataclysm. Could you possibly heal yourself? And then feel free to restore your magic. Musa is dead. Yeah, it's some kind of anti-magic. Hmm. I don't think we have anti-magic. We have a, well, the anti-magic ward. Yep, maybe attack should be a critical hit at about this point. Yeah, no. Weak point. He rejected the Architect's suggestion of an alliance to defeat the Mother. He now lies dead and your remaining enemy waits in your deep prayer. Belt of the Architects. Robes of the Architect. Utah. Doge's Badger. Doge's Dodger. Not all that great of an item.
I'll get on it. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
My responsibility is not to make alliances with Darkspawn, is to destroy them utterly. Remove their threats against others permanently.
Twisted creatures! Can I get you a ladder? So you can get up?
Yeah, it looks like so typical and generic monsters. Uninteresting.
Got it.
Elliot!
I'm here to kill you.
I'll get on it.
Holy shit. Okay. We're in a bit of a trouble now. Didn't notice the caster there. So. Can we disable that?
Consider it done. To battle!
The situation seems to be coming under our control. There's nothing that threatens our lives here anymore.
You call this a fight?
Now it's better than later. I'll get on it.
So, optional crystal, why? Is the crystal thing entirely optional? What do you get from completing this?
Alright. Now's better than later.
Yeah, it can't be related to the mother. By fitting crystals into sockets in the ruins, you have reactivated 3 Tevinter relics that may aid you against the mother. Can I get them at some point? That's the path forward, so I don't want to go into the nest until I have the relics in my hand.
Got it.
We shoot 5 go per enemy. It's quite a lot.
Now's better than later. Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Iron chainmail. we can't go there, so where are the relics supposed to appear? Surely they are not in the nest. Did they magically appear in my inventory? What? Ah. Architect, now you an ally can summon a powerful inferno to scorch the target area friendly if possible. Ah, yeah. That's what they are. Didn't pay attention at all, didn't notice that appearing. Tower of Trauma. This long dormant winter artifact is capable of stunning all creatures in the area. This ancient winter monument, now reactivated, can blast a single target with fire. This rediscovered winter relic offers the power to heal allies, so... And we lost the one ability by not allying with the scumbag. I sort of dislike that we lost the vigil. Not because of we lost, but because how we lost. We never got anything. It was just wiped off the map. I guess we could have chosen where to fight, but I don't see. I would have liked to at least, if it's going to go down, I would have liked to see how it went down, instead of just looking at the map and seeing that it's not there anymore. Hopefully we'll get something when we finish things, something a bit more satisfying. Well, at least we don't have to endure a long gauntlet to reach her. It's like a lot of potential eggs that will burst out. I guess this is it. I can't imagine anything being after this, so...
If it isn't the hero of the hour, the slayer of the mighty father, come to claim a reward. Oh, what a delicious day.
They just get bigger and uglier, don't they?
What is that?
By the ancestors, do all brood mothers smell this bad?
Am I not beautiful? Has the Grey Warden come now to slay the mother too? Will she join the father in oblivion?
That depends. I want some answers. I intend to kill her no matter what, but I'd like some answers anyway.
Answers? I bet you are brave. Once, beautiful music sang to us from the deep, called us near. We would search for that voice. But the father, he was flawed. He heard only a twisted shadow of it. He hated what it did to us. He said he wanted to free us, but all he brought us was silence. Dreadful silence. But now the father is gone. The mother can take her children deep into the earth and care for them, safe and sound.
Until the next time you send them to attack us again.
Oh, the Mother knows your ways. You will not let her be, no, not after what she's done. So it must end. It all must come crashing down! Perhaps we will hear the song again when we die. Oh, let it come. Let it come.
Okay, giant tentacle, giant tentacle, giant tentacle, and the mother. What? It used it already. Huh. Weakened the tentacles. Maybe it's because the device hasn't properly started yet. It works like this. So I don't know what to do with you, but go to the side a bit. Rain of arrows. That was annoying.
What is my task?
She's casting something. Okay. Not sure I should attack the tentacles.
Who's right?
And more and more and more come. Not in any real trouble, but not exactly achieving much either. We're not in any real danger. I think she'll just keep pumping out those children though. So nothing will happen unless we attack. How are you doing?
Rest in peace.
Let's see what you're good.
To battle!
New shoulder. Probably should fight them, otherwise our support group will get overwhelmed. And you're gonna need some stamina potions. No, just shoot that the mother. Not yet though. Still out of there.
Now's better than later.
Why are you going there, dumbass? You just shot a Henry of effect attack there. Yeah, I need more stamina too. No, I don't. More stamina potions. Running out of stamina.
What needs killing?
Can you... The warrior can easily recover stamina, but none of the others really can.
Time to die! After the deaths of both the architect and the mother, nearly all the remaining Darkspawn fled back into the Deep Roads. The raids on Amaranthine came to an abrupt end. Although some of the architect's disciples likely escaped into the Deep Roads with the rest of their brethren, they have, so far, shown no inclination towards vengeance against the Grey Wardens who killed their savior. Yet the Deep Roads remain plagued by the Darkspawn, and it seems certain that in time, another blight will begin. Danger may have passed for now, but the cycle of the old gods continues. Word of the Grey Warden's heroic salvation of Amaranthine spread like wildfire. When the magnitude of the losses at Vigil's Keep came to light, sympathy drove generous donations from all over Ferelden into the region's coffers. Amaranthine was restored to her former glory within a year. Vigil's Keep in 5. Because of the Warden's support for law and order in Amaranthine, Constable Aiden and his men were able to distribute the smuggler's goods to the battered survivors in the grueling days that followed the Darkspawn defeat. The war devastated the farmlands of the Arling, but the land survived. In time, opportunity would attract settlers from other regions, as always. Vigil's Keep stood alone against the horde of Darkspawn. The Mother's forces outnumbered the Vigil's defenders many times over. But the sturdy dwarven four walls proved impervious to any boulder an ogre could throw. The vigil soldiers, clad in silverite, each felled a dozen darkspawn before they died. Vigil held one night, then two, then a week, and eventually the attacking horde broke upon her walls. The keep developed an almost mythic reputation, the few survivors immortalized in song and legend. So I'm glad I at least invested in it. No actual gameplay consequence, but I guess that the story would have developed in quite a different direction if this hadn't happened. And I'm glad I sort of trusted the keep to take care of itself. Peace allowed the Wardens to replenish their numbers. Soon, Vigil's Keep bore a capable army with Wardens at its core. From their ranks emerged new heroes to challenge threats to Amaranthine and Orl of Ferelden. Through taxes and levies, the Vigil was rebuilt. Years later, Baldric Glavenack stood on the battlements and pronounced that the defenses were acceptable. He would never speak more highly of any human engineering. Some nobles claim the Grey Wardens were involved in Ban Esmeralda's disappearance on the eve of the final battle against the Darkspawn. Dark whispers hint that a conspiracy to oust the Wardens from Amaranthine is still afoot. Among the many legends that the Vigil spawned was one of the great heroes of the next age, the sheep-herder turned soldier by the name of Sir Alec the Valiant, who eventually founded an order of knights that lasted 1,000 years. The commander's blade, Vigilance, crafted from the bones of the ancient dragon, was boldly stolen by Antivan crows. The blade changed hands many times thereafter, with some master swordsmen pursuing the weapon their entire lives. Some claim that this legendary blade has had a life of its own, and that its power is steadily growing. Borkin Glavenack further refined his lyrium sand explosives, but left the Warden's employ after Qunari mercenaries tried to assassinate him. Although the dwarven bombardier took his secrets with him, the learned say he left clues for others to follow in his footsteps. The Vigil soldiers, wearing the distinctive silverite armor that Master Wade crafted, came to be known as the Silver Order. Under the tutelage of the Wardens, the Silver Order developed into one of Ferelden's most revered military forces, a lasting memory of the Vigil's famous commander. With Velana and the Architect gone from the region, the Pilgrim's Path began to see traffic again. The massacre of the militiamen and the merchants, however, led to hostilities between the neighboring human settlements and any Dalish clans that passed by. One human villager soon kidnapped and murdered a Dalish child. The clans reacted by giving the Wending Wood a wide berth, but both sides know that at some point the elves would return for revenge. A few years after Kal Hirol was emptied of Darkspawn, Orzammar began sending expeditions to rediscover the knowledge of smithing that had been lost within the Fae. Eventually House Helmi decided that Kal Hirol was too important to be abandoned. At a tremendous cost of dwarven lives, they cleared the tunnels leading to Kal Hirol of all Darkspawn, making the road between Orzammar and this fortress safe again. Kal Hirol was claimed for Orzammar once and for all. As promised, Baldric and Dworkin presented Orzammar's Shaperette with the stone marks that told of how Kal Hirol's castless has taken up arms against its Darkspawn. Commander of the Grey was invited to Orzammar as a guest of honor at a feast commemorating the defenders of Kal Hirol. The Shaper read the names of the castless of the marker, then proceeded over a ceremony to return them to the stone, as befitting warriors of their stature. In time, the Arling began to forget the tales of apparitions in the Black Marsh, and ever so slowly settlers drifted into the region. Scholars said the veil was still thin and thus the area still dangerous, but the people only cared that there were no longer frightened whispers in the shadows. The village was slowly rebuilt. Twice the Baroness's mansion was rebuilt and occupied, once by a wealthy merchant and another time by an old Legion mage. Both died mysteriously. Afterwards the mansion was torn down completely and the site left untouched. Anders remained with the Grey Wardens a few years longer, training the Order's next generation of mages, but when the Circle Tower called on him to deliver a lecture on the nature of the Architect, much to the Templars' dismay, Anders told the Commander of the Grey that his time with the Wardens was over. And yet, not 2 months later, Anders returned to the Order, even after the Wardens were his home and his lasting companions. When the walls of Vigil's Keep were breached, the surviving defenders watched in horror as a section of stone collapsed upon Velana. When the rubble was later cleared, however, there was no body. Velana was just gone. Well, she had the tree teleportation crap, or travel system, which I don't understand, again, because that should be impossible. After spending a number of years with the Wardens, Nathaniel realized that the life was not for him. He said goodbye to his sister Delilah and his new nephew, then left to seek his fortune. In time, that nephew became a Grey Warden himself, in emulation of Nathaniel, then rose to Warden Commander. He brought honor to the Howe name once again. Justice fought valiantly at the battle for Vigil's Keep, but before the victory horn sounded, a Darkspawn sword removed Kristoff's head. It was of course unclear whether the spirit of justice perished or simply departed. At the least, Kristoff's wife, Aura, was finally able to claim her husband's ashes. With the mother dead, Sigrun seemed to lose her purpose. She withdrew from her friends in the Order and spoke to them less and less each day. One morning, Sigrun was simply absent, her bed made and her trunk emptied. The young recruit who had been up in the night said she had left for her calling, gone to finish what she started in Kal Hyrule. At Vigil's Keep, Ogren rallied a last-minute defense of the gate, taking on 2 ogres simultaneously to allow others time to regain the courtyard. He eventually passed out from blood loss, and when he awoke weeks later, nobody was more surprised than he to discover he had been credited as a hero. Ogren continued to regale young Warden recruits with tales of his prowess in both battle and bed. His drinking games prompted at least one recruit to declare that she'd rather re-attempt the joining than lift another mug. Kelsey returned to Vigil's Keep several times to see Ogren, usually bringing their toddler as well. Ogren's inability to act seriously wore on her, however, and her visits dwindled, then stopped altogether. If Ogren missed her or his child, he never showed it. As for the Savior of Ferelden, he did not remain as commander for the Grey for long. The Darkspawn were no longer a real concern, and the Blight well and truly over. It was time for him to move on. Some claimed the commander reunited with the red-haired bard known as Leliana, and that they adventured together still. The pair were spotted together in Denerim a year after the Blight's end. No matter the truth, the commander never did return to Vigil's Keep. Okay. Can't we do this already? Oh, come on. Yeah, I'm putting a stop to this. Ah, yeah. I think I said a few words about Dragon Age Origins when I finished that, so I'm not going to go over that. Naturally, some comparisons, I guess, are in order. I don't really like Dragon Age Awakening all that much. It's not bad. It's okay. The thing is, a lot of the strengths of the original game have sort of been removed. The rune crafting added, and I rather they wouldn't have added it. It's just I don't like how it's implemented. It's a very pain in the ass and inconvenient to do, but those are minor things. Well, what really bothers me about this is, for example, the ending there. It's very abrupt. It's like if in the Origins, once we've cut the head of the dragon, it would have basically ended there, and then comes a huge text screen after text screen after text screen explaining what happened, instead of having the sort of the little bit of relief and celebrationary sequence where you discuss with people what's to come, people congratulate you. There's a little bit of going through what's happened in the game, what just happened, and what's going into the future. Discussion with the characters you play with, what's been happening, instead of reading about it in a text screen. I guess the stories themselves aren't exactly terrible, but they should have been playable, seeable, instead of read through a line of text. Leaving that siege of Visual's Keep, for example, with the characters you left behind, would have been much more satisfying than just basically getting nothing out of them. You're getting goddamn cutscenes of creatures you don't even know exist, but you can't even get something out of the companions when they're fighting for their lives against an overwhelming enemy army for days, for weeks. Bullshit. That's bullshit. It's just unsatisfying. That's what Awakening is. It's not terrible, but it's sort of a Dragon Age Origin if it would be done by a less competent team. It has sort of the same elements there, but it stumbles a lot more, and the additional level stats, talent below, in my opinion, doesn't improve the game really in any way. So I don't really care for it. It's probably why I also didn't remember all that much of it. So I don't really. You can't. It's hard to get invested in that crew. There's. And I sort of recall Anders. That's the only, I guess, a decent character that is there as far as new ones are concerned. The rest of them are sort of very unforgettable and bland. You don't really get a good feel of who these people are. You don't get the feel, the logic behind their action, what type of person they are. I guess you would need to have more conversations with them to talk about
talk about how they feel about what's been happening, what are you doing. Maybe even chat about bullshit about some things to get some kind of feel how they think, instead of now they, I guess, lack that framework, and feel less real, at least in my opinion. So a lot of the strengths that the original game relies on are sort of weakened in this. The base building aspect is basically, do you want to pay 80 gold and click on a few ore items in doing your adventures? That's it. It's pretty much as weak as you can goddamn get. I do appreciate the fact that it has consequences in the ending text, but it doesn't do anything in the game. Things might have been different if we had chosen to go and defend Vigil's Keep. But frankly, I as the ending text sort of confirmed, I had much higher fate of them being able to take care of themselves. They had 3 very good companions and most of our soldiers there. They should have been able to take care of themselves. We give them every opportunity and they sort of did. While the city is if there's no city there, the area would have probably either died off entirely, or Vigil's Keep would have been the next town, sort of next to the fortress or inside the fortress partially. So I don't dislike this, but I don't want to replay it at all. A lot of the characters were sort of left hanging in there. The Elven Mage, she was all about her sister, but apparently if we don't take her with us to defend Amaranthine, nothing will come out of it. The entire sort of character storyline is just forgotten there. Her sister never appears anywhere. And I sort of feel I feel unsatisfied. That's basically it. I feel, was that really it? That's what I'm feeling. I don't feel like, wow, that was a great experience. Oh, finally it's over. That's great. Something like usually, at least a good role-playing game usually gives you. Here it feels like things were mostly done right, but yeah, we're still left a little bit from what it should have been. So if this experience would have been Dragon Age, I wouldn't have. Yeah, this would have been probably my only Dragon Age game I ever played. Still, I can't say it's bad. It's an okay game to play through. But even if you like Dragon Age Origins, I can't say you'll like Dragon Age Awakening. It's nice to see what could have happened after the original adventure is over, but it's sort of a... It doesn't lead to another highlight event. It's sort of a... just slice down a little bit and then evens out into meh, and that is it. the Origins, the Origins ending is better. That's a better place to leave an adventure and walk away. But yeah, I can't say I hate it. It's still okay. I don't know if I'm going to play Dragon Age 2. It's I played it once upon a time, but nowadays you have to. I'm not going to buy any games from Origins. That's I think Electronic Arts digital sales shop. So that's basically the reason. If I can't get it somewhere else, I'm not playing it. So since I haven't seen it, at least on Steam for example, I can't really say if I'm gonna play it or not. But that's besides the point. I'm sort of still interested in playing it, although it has its own share of problems. But on the positive side, I think it's the character interaction that carries a lot of carries the Origins to a large extent. It is still to a great extent there in the second game. So in many ways I would like to play it exactly now or very soon to get the complete experience, play the first, play the expansion, play the second, to get a better perspective of how they compare to each other. But again, it depends on if I can get a hold of it. But for now, I'm sure I'll get it to it sooner or later. But for now, I think this is it for Dragon Age.